the richest man on the planet, a net worth past $200 billion. He could live anywhere. He chose a 375-square-foot box in the Texas desert, right next to a rocket launch pad, renting it from his own company for $50,000. Today, we're going inside that house, and what we find there might change the way you think about where humanity is headed next. Let's get into it. The tweet that broke the internet. It starts with a tweet. June 2021. Elon Musk, in the middle of a social media firestorm about his wealth, drops this on the world. My primary home is literally a $50K house in Boca Chica Starbase that I rent from SpaceX. It's kinda awesome though. The internet lost its mind. Immediately, investigators and tech journalists started digging. Satellite images, construction timelines, delivery records. Within days, they had an answer. The house sitting near SpaceX's Starbase facility was identified as a Boxabl Casita, a foldable, factory-built modular home manufactured in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now here's where the not a Boxabl. He called the Casita a cool product, and the Boxabl team confirmed they had deep story gets layered, because Musk later clarified he was living in a $50,000 home, but said it was delivered a unit directly to the SpaceX site under ENDA. Galliano Tiramani, Boxabl's business development lead, later confirmed the sale publicly, saying they sold one and delivered it to SpaceX. The picture that emerges is this. Elon Musk almost certainly has a Boxabl Casita on his property at Starbase. He uses it, whether it's his primary sleeping quarters, a guest unit, or a secondary space. This tiny revolutionary home exists at the beating heart of humanity's space ambitions, and that is fascinating. Inside the Casita. So what exactly is a Boxabl Casita? Because this isn't your grandfather's modular home. This isn't a flimsy prefab box with thin walls and a leaking roof. Walk up to one of these units, and the first thing you notice is the weight of it, the solidity. This is steel and concrete anti-density insulation foam, compressed together under 250,000 pounds of pressure and CNC precision, cut to tolerances that would embarrass most traditional builders. The footprint is 20 feet by 20 feet. That's 400 square feet of living space, about the size of a large hotel suite. The ceilings stretch to 9 feet, a number that matters more than you think. Most luxury homes are built to 9-foot ceilings. The Casita hits that benchmark and keeps going. The moment you step inside, it does not feel small. The interior is divided into 4 quadrants, and it is one of the smartest uses of space you will ever see. The front of the home opens into a combined living and kitchen area. Full-size appliances, a refrigerator, a stove, a washer-dryer combo, and a dishwasher. A kitchen countertop long enough to actually cook on. A small breakfast bar with the kind of clean, minimal design that works whether you're a minimalist or just passing through for rocket testing season. Move toward the back, and the space transitions into a bedroom and bathroom zone. Full-size queen bed. Not a bunk, not a fold-out cot, a queen. Behind that, a full bathroom with a walk-in shower, a deep sink, counter space, LED-lit mirrors that would look at home in a $500 a night hotel. The walls are not drywall. That's one of the first things people notice. The interior is clad in ceramic concrete panels, a material that laughs at mold, fire, moisture, and the kind of humidity you get when you're living 3 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. The heating and cooling runs through mini split units, the same system you see throughout Europe and in high-end residential construction in the United States. No ductwork, no filters to replace, no system of tunnels running through your walls collecting allergens and debris. Just clean, direct, incredibly efficient climate control. In the Texas summer, with temperatures cracking 100 degrees on the regular, that matters. Every light is LED. Every appliance is energy efficient. The insulation values inside the wall panels are extraordinary because when you compress steel, concrete, and EPS foam under that kind of pressure, you're not building a house, you're building a thermos. Musk lives in a place that has to function perfectly in the Texas heat. The Casita handles that without breaking a sweat. How Boxabl actually builds these homes. But the story of this house is really the story of how it was built, because that's where things get genuinely revolutionary. The Boxabl factory in Las Vegas is 172,000 square feet, an eighth of a mile long. 4 acres under a single roof. Inside that facility, every panel is cut by a CNC machine. Every component is precision fabricated. Nothing is cut by hand in a field. Nothing is exposed to the elements during construction. The clock on the life of a traditional home starts ticking the moment the first board hits the ground on a building site, sitting in rain, in heat, in wind, absorbing moisture and stress before you've even framed the walls. Boxabl's clock doesn't start until the unit is deployed. The entire structure, kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, and living room, fully installed, folds down to 8.5 feet wide. That's standard trailer width. No special permits. No wide load signs, no flag cars running escort down the highway. You load a complete home on a flatbed, and you drive it wherever you need it to go. Texas desert, remote construction site, the edge of a space launch facility in South Boca Chica, or, as Boxabl has gently suggested, Mars. When you get it where it needs to go, you unfold it. The steel one-beams embedded in the structure, 6 of them in every casita, rotate on engineered hinges that are built to cycle hundreds of times without degradation. The walls and roof unfold outward. The structure locks into place. A team of certified Boxabl installers connects the utilities, whether that's a traditional grid hookup or an off-grid solar and battery configuration, and in less than a day, you have a home. The whole thing, from factory floor to move-in ready, costs $50,000. The bigger housing picture. Now let's talk about why this matters beyond the Elon Musk angle. Because, as fascinating as it is that the world's richest man chose to park one of these next to his rocket factory, the larger story is about what this technology represents. The United States has a housing crisis. This is not debatable. Median home prices in major metropolitan areas have stretched so far past median incomes that an entire generation is being effectively priced out of home ownership. Construction costs have skyrocketed, labor shortages have extended timelines, and the traditional building model, lumber and drywall framed on a muddy lot over the course of 3 to 6 months, hasn't fundamentally changed since the 1950s. Boxabl's argument is simple. When you move manufacturing into a controlled factory environment, you get automotive quality at automotive scale. You eliminate weather delays, material waste, and the compounding costs of on-site labor. You build with better materials to tighter tolerances at faster speeds, and you pass those savings directly to the customer. At full production capacity, the Boxabl factory in Las Vegas can output one complete home every 90 minutes. The next generation facility they have planned is targeting one every 15 minutes. Think about that number. 15 minutes. A complete home with kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, 9.5-foot ceilings, full-size appliances, fire resistance, flood resistance, hurricane resistance, built to outlast a traditional stick-frame house by decades, every 15 minutes. The waiting list for a Boxabl Casita crossed 100,000 pre-orders. The company entered a SPAC merger at a $3.5 billion valuation. Tesla, Musk's own EV company, signed an agreement with Boxabl to build what they're calling a micro-amenity for supercharger locations. The relationship between these two companies and these two visions of the future is still very much developing. Starbase, Texas A&D, what this home represents. So what does it mean that this particular home sits at Starbase, Texas? Boca Chica used to be quiet, a handful of permanent residents, a beach, some birds. Then SpaceX arrived and transformed it into a launch facility unlike anything else on Earth. The Starship rocket, the most powerful launch vehicle ever constructed, is being assembled and tested here. The ambition of the site is generational. This is the launch pad for the colonization of Mars. And sitting somewhere in that landscape, within view of launch towers and test stands and the endless flat horizon of the Gulf Coast, is a 375-square-foot box that a man worth over $200 billion chose to call home. The choice isn't accidental. Musk has talked extensively about the psychological importance of living close to the mission, about removing the friction between thought and action, about not letting comfort become an obstacle. When your home is 10 minutes from the thing you're trying to build, something changes about how you think about time. There's also something else here. Musk has said publicly that the colonization of Mars will require affordable, deployable, rapidly assembled housing. The population of a new planet will not arrive with the capital to build traditional homes. They'll need something that can be manufactured at scale, shipped efficiently, and deployed fast in conditions that are actively hostile to human survival. A home that folds. Those ships. That unfolds in under an hour. That insulates like a thermos and resists every extreme climate condition Earth can produce. The Casita at Starbase might be the most quietly significant prototype in the history of architecture. The future of housing might not look like what we think. It might look like a 375-square-foot box that ships anywhere in the world, unfolds in under an hour, and sits 3 miles from a rocket launch pad in the Texas desert. For $50,000, that's not a bad place to start. If you made it this far, you already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, because we've got more videos just like this one dropping every week. And if you want to see what we're covering next, the link is sitting right there in the description. We'll see you in the next one.